Battleline podcast. Hope everyone is doing good on this Memorial Day. Most of you are hearing this on Memorial Day as it goes up on Monday. We're going to talk about Memorial Day, especially with Renee, Nickell, and talk about it with you as well, just guys that we've lost. But of course, we're going to have to mention what happened in Texas as well, and we'll get into that. It's a very, very crazy week here in America for sure. Before we do, I will say we have great sponsors who keep us doing what we do, and there's probably no better way to honor heroes than with a flag done by the guys over at Your American Flag Store. They really are putting out great work. Your American Flag Store makes very different wood flags than any other. They are art, 100% handcrafted from start to finish, including everything painted by hand with a brush, including each and every star. The flags are 100% customizable with your name, service dates, your emblems, logos. You can even do your favorite battle cry, your favorite Bible verse. They'll do it all for you. So their flags are made to order, which means your flag is made for you from raw wood to finished art. Plus, buying from YourAmericanFlagStore.com helps in their fight to cancel culture. 4 years ago, this 6-year-old boy asked his parents to start a Wood American flag business, and they did. It took this family on an adventure, selling the flags all across the country. The business did so well, it allowed them to move from California to a better life in Tennessee. Right after they moved to Tennessee, they were canceled for making Trump flags. Facebook, Shopify, PayPal, and Google all took their shoots, but Newsmax and Fox News heard the story, and it did make national news. So they're going to be involving lawyers, bringing the fight to these platforms. So please show this family your support. And we'll have some of the flags on the screen as we did last time. They really do an amazing job. They have flags coming in for us. And like I said, no better way to honor people who have fallen on this Memorial Day than getting a custom flag, maybe for guys like that. So check them out. That's YourAmericanFlagStore.com, at Your American Flag Store on Instagram. We also have a brand new sponsor on board, and I didn't know exactly what these guys did. I thought it was just beard oil, hence the name Beard Vet, but they do coffee, they do beard oil, they have merchandise, they have so much cool stuff, and it's all so well done, all from Omaha, Nebraska. Is that their coffee you're drinking?
Yeah, I actually this morning I am drinking the El Diablo, and it's actually smells. It doesn't smell like El Diablo at all. I started putting it in my little press here, and I swore I had hints of caramel in there. It actually smells really good. So I haven't tried it. This is the first time I've tried this one. So, but I was just the package. You know what? You always know there's a company puts pride into work just with the packaging too. I mean,
it's a great logo.
Even with one of our other sponsor, Out of Regs, who does great on their packaging. But these guys, and here's the beard oil, came in a separate bag, which I didn't know either, brother. They sent me all this stuff, and
I thought it was just beard oil because I just saw Beard Vet, and I was like, I'll check out the beard oil. And then they sent us so much stuff, man, and I'm excited to have them on board. They're going to be sponsoring a show every month, so. Yeah, they're roasted in the heart of America, Omaha, Nebraska, traditional and unique flavors in ground, whole bean, or grunt cups, K-cups, and beard kits. They select a veterans charity as well every month, and they give back. And Sean is a Marine, the founder, DAV lifetime member, an equestrian helper. His wife, Amy, is a trainer. And I know one of the charities they've given back to is the 14th Hour Foundation.
Yeah, they do. They support, and they're doing stuff for Memorial Day, obviously, because of their relationship with the military, and with Sean being Marine. So guys, do support them. And they're the other brand they had, their coffee was outstanding. I can't wait to try this one. Actually, I'll be drinking it during the show. And do check those guys out and help. And the K-cups. Hey, Sean, I need some K-cups, man. Send me the K-cups because I'm in a hurry a lot. So I got to get that. And I can't wait to try their K-cups. So that puts them at another level too, having the ability to have packaging like that with us on the go podcasters. I guess that's what we call ourselves now, right? But yeah, guys, tremendous company here in the Midwest, and you're obviously supporting a veteran family with Sean and his wife. So tremendous group, great guy, great people.
Check them out, guys. Beardvet.com. They also have a huge Twitter following, so check them out on Twitter at @beard_vet. They're also on Instagram at Team Beard Vet on Instagram. But go to the link in the description right now, beardvet.com.
Yeah.
From Omaha, Nebraska to New York City. From planet Earth to extraterrestrial life in space. A podcast with no equal, engaged in unconventional warfare through your speakers and headphones. This is a show about embracing the suck, conquering your demons, and finding God in the face of adversity. Chris Tonto Peranto.
Twitch is on. Motherfucker, I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
Ian Scotto.
You know, Ian and I have been dating for a long time.
You are now tuned into the Battleline podcast.
The Switch is on Battleline podcast, and we're very excited to be honoring guys on this Memorial Day, of course, and to talk about that with Renee Nickell. But unfortunately, I think the first thing we have to cover, and it would be crazy not to cover. I mean, originally you and I were talking about what we'd cover on the show, and crazy stuff going on with private police forces for like the World Economic Forum and all different things. But I figured to ignore the biggest piece of news and cover that stuff would really be a disservice, because we talk about what's going on in the culture, what's going on in guns, whether it's positive, whether it's a good guy taking down a gunman story, or it's a story like this, which is as tragic as it possibly could get.
Yeah, I'm sure the politicians, and even I'm sure I'll be asked to weigh in some format here or there about the Second Amendment and guns and the importance of guns, because and also the atrocities guns can cause. Now, I shouldn't say guns cause it; people cause it. Guns is an inanimate object. But that being said, I'd rather not get into that, at least right now. Maybe we'll get it down in the show. It's just
I agree.
It's kids. It's and having seen and personally experienced the death of children. I can't fathom that. I can't fathom somebody low enough, somebody disgusting enough. I don't care what age you are. His age has nothing to do with it. That you would find it okay to go kill kids. Kids are they're innocent. They're angels. They're saints. They really are. They are the best of us. And a person or a monster or thing to take that away, I can't, it just doesn't register in my head. And being, again, involved with that personally, with seeing a little girl blown up with somebody that was trying to attack us. I still, even in a war-torn country, I couldn't understand it there. And in this country, obviously, is not war-torn as much as people want to say it is on social media. It's not. It makes no sense to me, and it's just disgusting. And I do think that God, we need to bring more God back into our country. And we had to talk about this with social media, and it may hurt us, but I'm okay with that if there's a positive effect of stopping these kind of things. Less social media out there. But maybe that's a discussion you have when we do our Instagram live, or somebody asks us that a question, so we don't monopolize that and turn it in, which eventually will turn into a political talk, even though we don't want it to. But just my end state is social media doesn't help, and I think bringing God back into the schools will. But yeah, that's my take on it. But in the end, God bless your families out there. I can't even imagine being a father myself of young children. That is one thing I've seen and dealt through a lot of stuff, gone through a lot of stuff in my life. And not saying that's a badge of honor or not. I'm just saying I have. That is something I hope, I never have to go through, because I don't know how I would handle that. And I see myself as a pretty strong person, and I just can't imagine. So you parents out there, grandparents, friends, family, caretakers, if you were, if they were stepchildren of yours, you loved them just as much. I know you did. I'm sorry. And I wish you, nothing but just peace and understanding, if that's even a possibility, but God bless y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else really can be said. And also just the fact that I don't know how this has become the new normal in America, because it wasn't always. And guns, and I don't want to get into the politics of it, but guns haven't changed that much from when I was a child to now.
No,
but somehow the culture has changed, because I could say growing up in the 90s, this never happened. This did not happen until Columbine. This was pretty much unheard of until then.
Yeah.
And you just have to wonder what has happened, because I think no matter what legislation politicians want to talk about, whether it's having higher security or having less guns, I think the root of the problem is something deeply evil in the culture, because it takes a deeply evil person to do what these people are doing, to shoot up children. In the case of this guy, to shoot and kill his own grandmother. I mean, this goes beyond anything regarding gun control or security or anything.
It does. And I said it. I was on and actually I did like being on her show. She's extremely more right than I am. Holly out there, but talking about it, and I said it on her show. If I was going to go back and get my PhD, which maybe I will one of these days, who knows? I would love to do a study on that, to see the correlation of when that, like just what you're saying, when did the culture change? Because there's always mitigating factors. I mean,
Columbine with 1999,
and we saw a lot of that. We did, the social media wasn't what it was then, but they still recorded all
the 24/7 news media. The 24/7 news media started around that.
That is, and they did, and they remember they had their videos. That you see those ominous videos that they posted of themselves because they knew they would get out. I do. My opinion, and it's just my opinion, I do see a correlation. You're right, in the 24/7 news cycle, in the ability now of social media to get it out there. I asked you when you text me that, I said, did he post anything on social media? Because I didn't know. I did do some research. Silliness. I did some research. He did. He was sending social media stuff out of before it happened to a person on Instagram that he didn't even know. It was some.
I saw that.
And so, I to say that there isn't a correlation between social media and these things, or the 24-hour news cycle, 24/7 news cycle, the ability to get out, sensationalize this, and I guess, I don't know, make them feel like an evil hero, make them seem like they're the Joker, or something like that you'd see on a DC or Marvel universe sort of area. I see a correlation there, and for politicians to not talk about that and just talk about guns or no guns, they're missing the big picture. But maybe that's the point. They don't want to talk about it because social media definitely does benefit politicians more than anything in this world, and social media definitely benefits the news. But I'm with you. I feel you. I'm glad you said that, because you're spot on. You're right on, and I agree with you.
You are as well. I mean, there's also two other parts of this story that I think we need to bring out that are actually kind of breaking as we're recording this. So we're recording on Thursday. So these are things that I just saw, basically. Okay. One of them I saw, and I don't know if you've seen this yet. I saw their video originally posted by, and I'll mention him. I don't think he originally put it up, but he found it and reposted it. Spike Cohen, who is the Libertarian vice presidential candidate. So and I need to see more context to this video, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there is video of probably, I'd say, around 8 police officers as this is all going on, as this shooting is happening for 40 minutes, around the parents who want to get in the building and save their kids. These police officers are all armed, and they seem to be, I hate to say it, more concerned with making sure these parents don't get in the building, which I know you can't do. But how did this go on for 40 minutes without these police officers, their first priority being entering the building and taking down the gunman? And I do know the gunman was barricading himself in a space that was meant to be, I guess you would say, a safe space for people during an active shooter. But there was even a detaining of a parent, and that's on video, a detaining of a parent who's just distraught that their kid is in that building. And I don't know why that was the priority over getting the hell in that building and taking down the gunman for 40 minutes. I don't know how this goes on for I think it's around that. I don't know if I'm exact, but it's somewhere around that amount of time.
Yeah, I didn't see that. And as being a person that is a tactician, as far as with tactics, firearms and tactics, I mean, should I teach that? I've been doing that for years. I don't know either. I can assume, but what we happen when we assume, we make, you guys know.
Yeah, I agree. Because I don't know the full context, but seeing it's outrageous.
Yeah, I would say so. And as a parent myself, and a parent that has the ability to clear my own rooms if I need to, if I was that parent, I would be going in. I'd be the same. Hey, I'm going in. You fuck you. Get out of my way. You're either coming with me or get out of my way. You're part of the problem if you're not going to help. That being said, maybe there was already teams in there, and if there was already, this is the positive. I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. If there are already teams in there clearing, then now you've added another variable to this that you don't need to be in there because they don't know if you're friend or foe. And as a parent or someone that maybe doesn't have the training to even just try to elicit a response if you go into that building and say, hey, I'm giving command. We would say blue. Blue would be something that generally that's a known to most, blue or friendly or something like that. But still, though, you're going into there, and who knows how really apt the teams are? Who knows how good they are? How much have they trained? I've seen training law enforcement and training Air Force, some Air Force special ops. Never trained any Army special ops guys, except for guys that have gotten out, that have come through courses as civilians. A lot of teams out there in the law enforcement world, and I know they're getting better, a lot better. They don't do this regularly, especially in a small town. Their TAC teams are not the same TAC team you would see in Chicago or the same TAC team you'd see in Miami or the FBI HR, hostage response team. They're not because they can't be. It's just because they don't train like that. They don't have the money to train that like that. So setting a variable like that in there with people that haven't trained enough on it, their emotions and their adrenaline's already spiking. They may not be thinking clearly. There may be a bad shoot. Again, that is a possibility. If there was nobody in there and nothing was going on, like the resource officer that didn't respond in Florida, which, I'm not pounding on him. I'm just saying he just was wrong on a black and white scale. He was wrong. Then on a black and white scale, they were wrong. They're wrong. You get in there. The plan be damned. There is a plan, but at times, and this is what we've always learned, and I tell you, the SEALs, the Marines, the Rangers, the unit guys will tell you the same thing. Sometimes you just have to go. You have to have your standard operating procedures that you follow. Basically, there are standards that you're going to do regardless. But then in the end, it's like, fuck it. And you guys will say it, fuck it. Enough planning. Let's go. And you just got to go. And then you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what you've been trained in doing. You have to believe in the person next to you. But in the end, you just got to keep moving forward. We call it finding work. You got to keep finding work. You got to keep moving forward. Find work. When this room is cleared, find some more work. Where's another door? Go to it. All right, get in that room. Find work. Where's a place they could be hiding? Let's go find it. And you just continually keep moving forward until that thing is cleared. And that's generally what it is. In this case, this finding work they were doing as far as detaining parents. Again, if there was a team in there, I can understand it because you don't want to throw more variables in there, especially variables that you've never worked with before, which would be a parent.
And they're not armed, no plan.
And they're not armed. Yeah. But if there wasn't, then the work they were finding was the wrong work, and they needed to get it in there. But let's not beat them up yet. I don't want to beat.
I know. I agree. I just seeing the video at least this morning. I said, "What? This doesn't look good." Is all that I felt. And
it does. You're right. I haven't seen it, but you're right. Something like that definitely doesn't look good. And it's children. John 15:13. Love is no greater than this, that a man lay down his life for his friend. I think that goes up 1,000% when that friend is a child. You put your life on the line for any child because they're the best of us. I really believe that. I really do.
Yeah. So I will say on that note, though, that thank God for the Border Patrol agent who did go in there, who was highly trained, who took down the gunman. So
was it real? I didn't know that. Was it abort?
Yeah.
I tell you what, and I always tell Rangers and guys getting out of the military that want to go into a federal law enforcement, they want to go into a TAC team. Rangers go to BORTAC, the BORTAC teams, the border tactical teams. And the supervisor there, one of the old, he might have retired now. I was his old team leader. We were Rangers together in a squad. He actually took down one of the, remember back in the East Coast, it may have been 10 years ago that they had there were two guys that escaped from one of the penitentiaries out there, and they were chasing them down, and one of them got killed. They were hiding in the woods. He's now a supervisor. That was my buddy. I'm not supposed to say his name because, but I will say, he took that guy out when he was a junior. BORTAC. I mean, that's how talented the BORTAC teams are. They don't just work on the border; they actually go out and do other missions. And they were part of hunting, doing that manhunt of the 2 killers that escaped from a penitentiary 10 to 11 years ago out in the Northeast. But anyway, those guys are good at what they do. The border TAC teams are extremely talented, extremely trained, and I wouldn't have surprised me if he went in there on his own and got it done, because that's what they do. So any of you guys out there,
could you stop clicking your pen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm
it's okay.
I can't even hear.
Keep going.
Sorry. But I appreciate it. But guys, so any of you guys that are kind of switching gears, any of you young bucks that are deciding to leave the military and want to join a TAC team or get in the law enforcement on the federal side, and you think the FBI HRT, a hazard response team, is the only good TAC team out there. Of course, the marshals have their SOG team and so forth. The Border Patrol, the BORTAC team, that may be something you guys want to look at, because they are good, and their indoctrination process is, their tryouts are extremely hard. So yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah, kudos to that whoever the Border Patrol agent was. Good on you, man. Outstanding job. Great job.
And then, as I said, there were 2 pieces of news. The last piece of news I wanted to mention, which is actually kind of close to people that you work with, and I don't know if you saw this. This just broke this morning.
No.
So Daniel Defense, who was the maker of the weapon that was used, has abruptly decided that they are going to be pulling out of the NRA convention taking place in Texas. I personally understand that. I understand why you would do that. It's probably not so much that you're not open to discussing this type of thing, but right now this is just highly sensitive, and I could see them saying, let's take a step back and let's not be there, because it might just not be in good taste right now.
Well, and Daniel Defense, I had issues with Daniel Defense in the beginning when they were big on the government contracts, not because of their customer service or the people there. They're very ethical, very good company. I know them. I know people. I know I've worked and met with their head guys, and their marketing guy was at our copper ticket.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned. I mean, we were using their guns,
their weapons. So for them to make a decision, I don't see it as being, oh my gosh, this is going to be a public relation nightmare. It's going to be a public relation nightmare for anybody at the NRA convention right now. Just Daniel Defense. I do see this as being an ethical decision. I do believe they have ethics, very good ethics at Daniel Defense. I'd love to work with them again. But their quality, quality of the product, they have great products. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm glad they're doing this. I'm actually, that shows that they care. I think a lot of times the people in the gun community, the Second Amendment, the NRA especially, they go, and I don't blame them. They go on extreme defensive, but it shows they lose the relationship. They lose the personality. If they become robots and they're just going on the defensive instead of showing some feelings, some emotions. Not saying they don't have them, but I understand that, because they get attacked. I mean, they're getting hammered, I'm sure, right now from the leftists and the gun grabbing people. But doing this, to me, at least Daniel Defense is showing some emotion, which we should in the gun community, especially in the gun community, that we know the dangers of guns. You should show emotions, because some kids died, and so I think that's not a bad thing, bro. I think that's a good decision, and it's a good decision with their company and their ethics they have in their company. It shows ethics to me. At least that's what I'm saying.
Do you think, due to the timing, the NRA should just stop the convention, or at least not have it in Texas? I know, as much as I may not be a fan of the guy, and neither are you, and of course don't agree with him running into the press conference, but Beto O'Rourke saying that the NRA convention should not happen in Texas. The fact that timing is just very bad, and I think it could just show some compassion to say, let's move this to another time.
Well, it comes down to money. It really does come down. I think there's so much money. If you've never been to an NRA convention, you've been to SHOT Show.
Sure.
That's about the same. It's about that size. So to say, we're not having it this week with all these people, all these vendors, and the NRA convention is very, in comparison to SHOT Show, it's very family oriented. It's extremely family. You have kids, you have.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I mean, should you be putting money first in a week like this?
No, you should.
Why not? Why not move it? Why not just move it to? And look, I don't think they should be on the defensive. The gun owners are not at all responsible for what happened. Of course not. But I'm just saying the same thing you're saying. Public relations, messaging. It just doesn't look great.
In a perfect world where they could, I just don't think they could actually logistically do it and push it. But yes, they should. Yes, should we at least postpone it for a week? If they could postpone it for a week, I think that would at least show some integrity, some emotion, some ethics. But in our world of money, I don't see them doing it. But yes, they should. Is it going to happen? No, probably not. But you're right, bro. You beta work. Shut your mouth. Just be quiet. You kid jumping in already, and just shut up. But on that side of the house, being somebody that is in the 2A community, that doesn't hate guns, that knows that guns also save lives.
Of course,
I've used them to save lives. Speaking on that, they should push it a week. They should push it. They should do something. Just show some form of we understand. And I think that would be something that could be possible, even in the line of big corporate, America and money. And America, we're about
the only
capitalism.
Unfortunate thing is it's like pushing it a week right now. These past 3 weeks, we've seen mass shootings every week, and something needs to change. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend I have all the solutions. I certainly don't. But I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were covering the Brooklyn shooting. Then a week ago is the Buffalo shooting. Now it's this, and it's just this is not a good time in America. Is all I can say.
I would love to see, not just if the NRA pushes their show or moves it, or cancels it or whatever. I would also love to see social media people come out. They never do. That's one thing we don't talk about. You never see the social media giants come out and say, you know what, we had a responsibility in this too, because they really, I think honestly, they believe they do not, and they do. They have a huge responsibility in this, because of every time something like this happened, there is a post. And, the news would be good to come out like, hey, they have a responsibility in this too.
It makes too much money for the 24/7 news networks, of course. We all know that.
It's always about money, man. Always. Damn,
yeah. Well, with that, we're going to talk about Memorial Day, and someone who we're definitely going to honor on this Memorial Day, and we're going to have Sean Lake on soon, is Glenn Bob Dougherty. Definitely a guy who should be celebrated for Memorial Day. And Bub's Naturals gives back. They give 10% of all proceeds, of all profits, to the Glenn Dougherty Memorial Foundation. And for those who don't know Bub was an adventure seeker, a river guide, skier, Ironman competitor, fitness fanatic, chef, gardener, handyman, an epic storyteller, a national hero, and a Navy SEAL who saved lives and was always the life of the party and became a best friend to all who knew him. That spirit lives on within each of us. And they put out great products. I actually have a shipment coming right now because I've run out of everything.
Yeah, I'm running low on mine right now. Yeah, you're right.
Collagen Protein. It's something I use all the time post-workout. Yeah. It's something I like to use too if I'm not in the mood to have like an entire meal. It's a great post-workout recovery that's really light, but you're getting the protein that you need. The Collagen Protein, their MCT oil powders, excellent, as well as their apple cider vinegar gummies. And you can read about the benefits of all this stuff, not only on the site, but I mean, if you Google the benefits just from objective sources of collagen, of MCT oil powder, of apple cider vinegar, there's a ton of great health benefits to each of them. Yeah. So check them out, guys, and support a great cause. BubsNaturals.com. Promo code Battleline for 20% off. Once again, BubsNaturals.com. Promo code Battleline for 20% off. And as always, this show is sponsored by our friends at Fort Scott Munitions. And to switch things up a little bit with the usual details I go in light of the same things we've been talking about, I could say that if you go to a course at the Fort Scott range with the Battleline tactical instructors like yourself, you guys are going to put safety first, and you guys put it there on the line so that in situations like these, you want someone to be prepared to hopefully save people during situations.
Well, and that's it. We have the course coming up in July with Mike Ritchie, who's a tremendous medic, Navy corpsman. That's also a one-day room clearing course. And if you're a teacher, and we've done this before, and we always have done this, is if you're a teacher and we have courses like this, you come for free. We don't charge you a dime. So if you're a local teacher, my teacher, where my kids go to school, the teachers are armed. There are some armed teachers. In fact, I've trained a couple of them. So, but that being said, if you are a teacher, especially locally here in Kansas, where I'm at, you're welcome to come for free. I want to train you. And that's what this course really is. It's home defense, one person room clearing is what it is. And it's for, God forbid you have to be in a situation, but you at least need to be prepared. So yes, please, if you're a teacher, you're always welcome to come to courses, the room clearing CQB type courses that we have. And we're doing, of course, Stop the Bleed course, which is the day before. So come on,
Yep.
we want you here. And I've always offered that up to teachers and educators. My mom was a teacher. She was my first grade teacher. So I have a special love for teachers and what they do, and especially now. So yeah. We want you to come, so you are prepared and trained, at least have some knowledge, at least an understanding of what could happen, and maybe you continue with your training on down the line, like the teachers at my kids' school that have continued to train and are very capable. And I'm glad they're there. I'm glad they're there armed. They are, but that's it. We'll go down that rabbit hole later as far as armed, not armed. That's a whole nother podcast, brother. You know that. But yeah,
and
I
as
appreciate
always,
you mentioning that.
Yeah, no, as always, if you go to a course at Fort Scott, you're going to be shooting with Fort Scott Munitions, and it's just an all-around great family. The Kraft family who runs everything is excellent. I had a great time there, and guys who really know their stuff will tell you this is the best ammo out there. So Fort Scott Munitions is available throughout privately owned businesses in all 50 states. You go right on the site, you click on the dealer locator, you're going to find something right by you, no matter what state you're in. FortScottMunitions.com. Use the exclusive promo code Battleline on any of their merch on the site. They have great t-shirts that I wear all the time. Just great merch in general, great hats. So use the promo code Battleline for 15% off at FortScottMunitions.com. That's Fort Scott, MUNITIONS.com. Link is right there in the description. Fort Scott Munitions is a proud supporter of Chris Peranto, Battleline Tactical, and this podcast right here, the Battleline Podcast. So joining us, not for the first time, for the second time on Battleline Podcast is Renee Nickell, author of Always My Hero, a sister's inspiring story of love, sacrifice, and hope about her brother, Marine Corps Major Samuel Griffith. The foreword was done by Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. The book's been out a long time. I mean, I spoke to you for the first time years ago, and we want to get into some stuff with the VA, but I figured, like, really no better time to have you on than a show that's going up on Memorial Day. And before we even get into anything, you know what I was thinking? The last time we had you on, which is probably like a year and a half ago, if I remember correctly, you were speaking about converting the book into a big screen adaptation. And I was wondering the status of that.
Actually, did you? Okay, hold on. Did you send me an email a while back about like doing that? Because if you did, I'm sorry if I didn't respond, because I get crazy with I'm remembering it, but maybe I dreamed that. Did that?
I may have. I sent a lot of people emails.
Okay. All right. All right. I just want to let you. Okay. Sorry if I didn't respond.
John Krasinski. So,
Oh, wait. I don't have any relationship with. I mean, shit. I don't even talk to Pablo that much anymore. Even though we're still friends, we just don't chat. No.
I make jokes that he's probably too old at this point now, but
he made. I seen the Doctor Strange though, which it was all right. Disney still had to throw their little wokeness in there, which I like or whatever. But he was who's the from Fantastic Four. He was he played because in the future. Spoiler alert on Doctor Strange. They go to the future. It's multi-universe Doctor, and this league now. Captain America is the British girl that was on first Captain America, and their league is Professor X from the X-Men is there, but John Krasinski is the last man on the Fantastic Four job. And he looked young. He was still young. He's still.
They can do
young.
Digital. They can. They can age people. Or reduce age, I guess. So, but I've been working on the screenplay for about 18 months, and I mean, it's gone through so many rewrites. And I collaborated with an Air Force veteran. He writes screenplays, and he did a lot of the the military scenes for me. And then literally over the last couple of days, I've finished it up. I mean, this morning I did the final edits and sent it to a couple people.
Why did it get?
I had no idea.
Yeah, how come 18? I mean, ours really, in our cases, it was written once by Chuck Hogan, who tremendous writer. He's done a lot of stuff. But we did one read, and during that read, we did the rewrites, and that was it. I mean, we didn't do 18. It was like done. Okay, we're good. Why is so many?
Because, one, I don't have a lot of experience being a screenwriter. This is my first one. So
it's still yours. It's still mine.
So I've been doing all the rewrites because it's important. Yeah. I mean, it's really important that I get it right, and do Sam justice. And so it's been me just being nitpicky over things. And
it's OCD.
It's hard to release it. It is. Yeah. It's really, really hard to release that and send it to people, because it's, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into that. So
of course,
but,
I just thought maybe it was some Hollywooder or somebody that
no.
want to be saying, no, we got to change this and this and this. Like, whoa, wait a second, this is yours. You ain't changing nothing.
No, and I've had a standing, pitch meeting open for me since I don't know, December of 20. I don't know, what year is it? 2020. So for the last 18 months, and and I'll call a friend of mine who actually flew with Sam. I'll call him up and I'll be like, I'm ready for that meeting, and then I rescind it. I'm like, no, I'm not ready. And so I think I sent him an email this morning. I think I'm ready to get it out there.
Now, do you have and this helps. There's a lot of veterans out there that I know have hit me up on or hit the show up or hit my email up, where Jeremy Mitchell, who runs pretty much our website, answers emails, where they're asking about doing movies and so forth. This would help them. You've got this far. Do you have a production company ready? And if so, how did you get into and find a production company to start making the movie? Or are you going to do it independently, or what are you doing? This helps a lot of veterans out. Listen to this, guys, because I don't have answers for you. We were very lucky. I mean, ours was set in stone from the beginning. We didn't have, and we had a very big production company do it. So, but yeah, how is that going? You've got that now. How's it going to get made?
Yeah. So the next goal is to pitch it to a Hollywood exec.
Okay.
So, but we'll see how it goes. And my husband and I actually started a production company ourselves this year because we want to be in on the creative process the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we don't want to just sell our story. Yeah. So we started a production company, and then we already have our next project. We want to do a documentary on the 4th Anglico, the unit that my brother was killed with, because a lot of people don't know about Anglico Marines, and they're just a very specialized group of guys. And so I have a lot of people excited about that, because nothing's ever been done about Anglico. There's never been movies done about Anglico. No. So really, this is a very unique project, which, sort of gives me the upper hand in this case. But I would love to make stories about veterans and what they've been through. And
then you're the production company. There you go. Here, hit up Renee. She's the production company. Right,
I just need lots of money.
that definitely helps. How are you getting in front of the Hollywood? That's not easy to do either. You just can't. I know you can just call you can't just call a Hollywood exec or call a Hollywood studio and say, hey, we want a meeting with you to pitch. How are you getting connections? Okay.
It's been connections from people who knew Sam.
Okay.
So I've had, since the book has been released, I've had people just find me, and I've had some posts on LinkedIn go viral, and I mean, at least once or twice a week, I have people contacting me. Hey, I served with your brother. He made such an impact in my life. Yeah. I mean, it's so overwhelming. It's like, I wish I could take all of the stories that I'm getting and put it into the movie, but I have 114 minutes. So, it's really, really been incredible that everybody who has helped me along the way has known Sam. And it just blows my mind what an impact he made. And he probably didn't even know, he just.
And I should mention, I mean, when you talk about like doing everything independent, just the book itself, I mean, you did the book all on your own. You didn't have anyone, helping you really along the way in terms of like a company getting this thing out there. And yet it was massively successful. I mean, I was just looking to make sure I had this right. Over 100 5-star reviews on Amazon, getting someone like Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, who everyone knows to do the foreword for the book. And the book has had a positive impact. And in terms of that, with the book itself, I think, we got into the story of your brother, if people want to listen back on the episode. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what does this day mean in particular to you? What does Memorial Day mean? And how should people honor this day? I mean, is it okay to celebrate on a day like Memorial Day? How do you feel about all that?
Yeah, I've really struggled with this over the years. I think in the beginning, when I was really, really raw, I was really angry about this day. And then I really, had to think about, what would Sam want? Why did he die? Why did he go to war? And, I don't think Sam would begrudge anybody who decided to celebrate Memorial Day weekend with their family. That's what they sacrificed their lives for that freedom. The one thing I talk about with, my mom and other Gold Star families is the verbiage of Happy Memorial Day. It's like going to a funeral and saying Happy Funeral Day. It's a day of just reflection, and it's really, really hard. I texted my mom yesterday morning, and she said, I'm so irritable and sad. And she said, I couldn't really pinpoint why. And I've been the same way. And sometimes these days approach and you don't even realize that, you're kind of going through something. And then you're like, oh yeah, this date is coming up. It's like your brain knows. So, I want people to go out boating and spend that time with their family. People work hard, for a day off. I just want them to think about why they have that day off.
And
that's the thing.
And by saying that, keep reminding, and that's okay. Just got to keep reminding and reminding those out there. And I agree. I agree. I know buddies that have passed would be kicking me in my ass for like, why are you laying down, not doing anything on Memorial? Get your ass up and go have a beer. I mean, that's how it would be. Really, and I know that's how your husband would be too. It's like, shut up, quit your whining, get up and go have a beer, and shut up, have a beer. And really, I want people to think that way, because that is. I really feel that is how they are. Their spirits are around us, going, stop whining, stop crying. I didn't die for nothing. Get your ass up. And I think Bub's that same way too. Same with Roan. Same with where we lost Putty, in Sulaymaniyah and other. But that is a good way of thinking, because you're right. It is. You're spot on. And I want you to know that way of thinking is how it should be. And I don't begrudge people, and nobody's in retrospect, looking back where we say Happy Memorial Day, you talked about that. Nobody has ever said Happy Memorial Day to me. That being said, if somebody did, I wouldn't be mad at them if they didn't know. I would correct them, but it's just like they didn't know. Yeah. They're thinking this is what needs to be said because that's what we say on Remembrance holidays. But and that was the one-time correction. Now, if somebody said it as a joke or trying to be funny, you punch them in their nose and say, "Okay, don't do that." But you're right. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was ignorant once too. I mean, before my brother died, we celebrated our 3-day weekend and I mean, even being a part of a military family, I didn't even know what a Gold Star family was until I got a Gold Star pin in the mail. And I was like, what is this? I didn't even know there was, I didn't even know Gold Star families had a label. It's just, I was thinking, I was like, how was I a military spouse for 10 years and I didn't even know what a Gold Star family was, and so I don't, you just got to give people grace. They don't know what they don't know.
And that's the word, give people grace. That's a beautiful statement right there. And just saying that. And now that being said, you're a Marine, you were a spouse for a Marine. How did you not know every rule in the Marine?
Air Force.
Was it Air Force? Okay. I was like, I thought it was a Marine. I go Marine. I was like, It's like, okay, that makes sense.
You're talking about
your brother. Oh, your brother. Okay, your brother. I always get them confused. I don't know. They're everywhere. We got brothers, we got husbands, but still though, how did you not? You have a Marine in the family. How do you not know every rule that should be known? That Marines are spot on, knife hand in every rule.
I know. I mean, I still have to get corrected on acronyms and like they need like an acronym book so that I can just go through, and
I had the same issue as a
civilian. Thank God I had so many helping me.
There you go.
Yeah, I had the same issue as a civilian when, I first started with Soft Rep Radio. I mean, I didn't understand that special operations was, the branch of everything, and special forces was a part of the Army.
I think we talked about that on when I came on one of the shows when you were running Soft Rep Radio. We did discuss that.
I don't know, but I mean, I think everybody, when they think special forces, they think of the same thing as special operations, unless they're in the know. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of acronyms to learn, a lot of different branches to learn, a lot of different special operations teams to learn. But actually getting into the stuff with your husband, which was originally what you were speaking to me about, we did an Instagram live, but we were having a ton of connection issues. And, you know, I said, we'll bring you on the show at some point, hopefully Memorial Day. And I was glad we were able to make it happen. It's a weird thing because you hear some people on the show who have had great experiences with the VA. Yeah. And unfortunately, it sounds like right now you are experiencing a horrible time with the VA due to what your husband is going through. So yeah, I think people would need to hear about it.
Yeah. So, so my husband, started the process in 2013, and, you know, he just started submitting claims and
for what exactly, for people who, I'm sorry, Renee, for people who are wondering, started the process for like what reason?
No. Okay. So, he was having some medical problems. And I think at the time it was, knee, back, you know, sleep apnea, migraines. Oh my gosh, there's like a list of 22 conditions that, you know, in the beginning, I think it was, he submitted for, you know, like 12 or 13. But since that time, they, you know, they put you on medications that cause other problems. And then they have there's conditions that cause other conditions. So like he has zero cartilage in he got a knee injury in Afghanistan. He now has bone on bone, which has caused his gait to be off. So now he has 2 herniated discs in his lower back. So at times he's like completely incapacitated, which causes numbness down his entire side and down from his shoulder down his arm. So it's progressively gotten worse. And so he was running like 15 miles a week, but now he's become sedentary because he's in chronic pain all the time. So there's other problems that have happened because of that. So he's just been getting denied. We finally just got rated for, he did get his knee, his back rated. We finally just got a rating for his heart condition, which he's going to need a heart surgery coming up for. Wow. And I mean, that was a battle to get that, even though he was at the base ICU when his heart condition
really. So they had record of it actually on post.
So it was
doctor. Wow.
Oh yeah. So it was a base ambulance that came and took him to the hospital. He was in ICU for 3 days. And so he had to prove to them, I mean, and it took, I don't know, 5 years. He had to prove to them that he had orders on that weekend, even though he was transferred by a base ambulance and was in the ICU on base. And so it's been things like that. And, you know, we've had several different reps. We finally decided, we were like, look, we're just going to pay somebody to help us. You know, we're going to give them 20% of whatever you get and help us. And so that's been the last 3 years. And nothing was happening. And so actually one of Sam's Marines called me up because I had, you know, vented on social media. And he said, you know, I fought the VA and I learned the system. And he said, I want to help you. And I said, well, we have this guy who's, you know, willing to take 20% of what we get, you know, but nothing's happening. He was like, well, nothing's happening for a reason. He was like, the longer he holds out and the more back pay you get, the bigger his 20% becomes. He said, of course it's taking forever. So we came up with a plan. Actually last week, you know, he said there's, unfortunately, the VA makes it so difficult that there has to be, you know, there has to be a link for everything. There has to be an order for the way things are submitted. There has to be a particular verbiage. When you go into the medical examination with the VA, you have to say certain key words in order for them to even consider you to be rated. And like my husband went in for a psych eval a couple months ago, and he was talking about Afghanistan. He was talking about his issues with depression and anxiety. And she asked him, she was like, have you ever had any marriage problems? And he was like, well, yeah, my wife and I separated back in 2004. He said, I was going through a lot of depression and we ended up reconciling and working through it. And when we got the letter back from the VA, it said depression caused by marital problems in 2004 has since resolved.
Wow. Renee, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I ask you, what part of the country are you at again? Where are you at again?
I'm in Huntsville, Alabama.
And that's the VA that you're going through, is the Alabama VA. Wow. Okay. All right.
Well, yeah. That's the one. We're going down. He's having to drive an hour and a half to Birmingham for examinations, or he has to drive. So,
okay.
It's, I feel hopeful now. I feel hopeful because we have somebody who really cares about our family, who knows, the lingo, because he's done it himself. He's created his own company. So, he's totally legit. He helps veterans. And, I'm just so frustrated because we're not the only ones. I mean, I talk to veterans all the time. I talk to veterans who say, I submitted my paperwork and got 100% my first try, or got rated, immediately. But far more often I hear veterans who, major combat situations, worse things than my husband, and they have to fight.
Well, see, and that's the sad thing, is they're supposed to have these standard procedures, check the boxes, but when it comes down to it, it comes down to be a subjective review, just like you had with the marriage. It doesn't make a difference. You have ones that are, and you really do. I was very lucky. I'm one of the ones that has the success story as far as the VA, and I was in the Omaha VA. They actually, Omaha VA, very good. They do a very good job. Governor Ricketts actually makes sure that the Omaha VA does a very good job. And I did. But I remember the code words and stuff like that. But they did. It got through, and it was done. I didn't file it for 6 years because I didn't feel like it was warranted, because I hadn't lost a leg or anything like that. I felt like I shouldn't need to file because I still have all my appendages. And they actually said, no, you file. They were making, but the Alabama, there's another gentleman, White Hawk is his name on Instagram, and he follows us on everything. I'm not gonna give his real name out there. He probably will. He'll come on, but he's in Alabama too, and he says he's having the same issue. That's why I asked, because same issues that you're having. And he took pictures of his denials of everything that he's been denied for. And he's another one that served in Iraq and is going through a lot of issues right now. So I'm wondering, what's up with the Alabama? You would think Alabama, when I think Alabama, I think very military supportive. There's a lot of bases down there. That's the South. What do you think that is? Do you have, and I know you're giving us just your opinion, but this is 2 cases within a span of a week that I've seen, that I know 2 people that are having issues with the Alabama VA. That's odd to me, especially for Alabama. New York, okay, I get it. California, maybe. But what's up with Alabama?
We just do things a little slower down here.
I guess. Okay. Well, you guys need to speed up and start taking care of your veterans, because that's horse shit. That is completely horse shit. But
well, and my husband didn't even file until 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 years after Afghanistan, because he had that same mentality. And then when our current guy Marine who's helping us, he was like, do you have this and this and this? And my husband's like, thinking like, doesn't everybody? Yeah. And he's like, dude, like that's not normal.
Well, that's the same thing.
I mean, we had no idea that all of these different things were symptoms, and so it's wild. I don't know what's going on, but.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and the crazy thing is, you see these stories pop up of the exact opposite things going on in the total opposite direction of guys getting money who shouldn't be getting money, because You saw what I posted this past week?
Is that the Task and Purpose, the weightlifter guy in
this
Florida?
guy, I just pulled it up. I mean, this Task and Purpose article,
and
I do love the headline. An Army vet bodybuilder scammed the VA out of $245,000 while claiming he couldn't even lift, bro. And you'll see that this guy was putting up pictures on Instagram of him lifting. And it says that's a lesson that Zachary Barton, a 36-year-old Army veteran and bodybuilder from Florida, is learning the hard way. You can file a disability claim saying you can barely lift your arms and need a cane to get around, or you can post your gains on Instagram, but you can't do both. So it says, Barton pleaded guilty in a West Palm Beach, Florida federal courtroom on May 19th to stealing $246 in VA benefits over several years for his ailments. So something is very wrong when guys like these are getting literally hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the VA and your husband is getting no help at all.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, thankfully, we have TRICARE, we have insurance, he gets taken care of. He could go down to the VA hospital if he absolutely needed to, and for us, it's not even about the money. Now I'm just like, I just want to fight the system. I'm like,
it's the principality, Smokey.
It's
the principle. But you're right, because you should. And it just the broad spectrum of those that get money and those don't. Cases like this guy, and I think he was in Florida. Florida?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. West Palm Beach. To all you veterans out there that are scamming,
this is what happens though. Now you have other people out there that are now being hard-nosed and going the extra mile the other way to make sure everything is denied, because I think sometimes I asked this lady or whoever that denied your husband, does she think that you're scamming? Obviously there's something in there that she thought, these people are trying to get over. Well, that's horse shit too. So you veterans out there that are scamming, you're just hurting the ones that really need the help and need the money. And in your case, you are very lucky, but I know Whitehawk, my buddy Whitehawk, he doesn't have the money. He needs that assistance to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. And a lot of veterans do. A lot of veterans need the medical care. I mean, healthcare is not cheap.
No, not anymore.
I mean, my husband, we have TRICARE because he's still in the reserves.
Okay.
And so, and he's been on, with the reserves, he's been on no pay, no points for the last 4 years because the military lost his file. They hadn't even sent it to the medical board for medical retirement because it sat on somebody's desk for over 2 years. And they finally looked at it. They were like, they called around. They were like, who's Gentry Nickell? And then they called him up and they were like, we were wondering whose file this is sitting on this desk for the last 2 years. And that was 2 years ago. So, I mean, he hasn't gotten paid from the military since July of 2017 because of his heart condition. They just, like 2 months ago, it finally got in front of a 2-star general, his file on his heart and what happened at Eglin Air Force Base, in 2011. And he finally approved, his heart condition asserted during drill weekend, and he's had several episodes before. He's had a heart surgery already for it that the military made him get. And then, so now it finally gets to go to the medical board. So now we're at the mercy of the medical board to say, hey, your husband's been in for 20 years, but you haven't been accumulating retirement the last 4 years. You missed promotion for major. So we're going to decide whether or not we're going to give you medical retirement, or we might just kick you out and just say thank you for your service.
They could do that.
That's what we're dealing with right now. Yeah, they can do that.
And they can do that. That wasn't no fault of your own. That is amazing. I honestly, that's the first time I've heard of something like that, and they could just deny you.
It's been a nightmare.
Wow, that's
terrible. So if he gets kicked out with if he doesn't get medical retirement, then he'll lose all his health benefits and the last 20 years in service, basically.
I hope he doesn't. Prayers to him that it comes out successful and hate to be at the mercy. Who's the Marine? Is it the Marine that's helping you guys right now? The one that you found, the good one.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give?
He's a 4th Anglo Marine.
4th Anglo Marine. Do you want to give his name out there for other people that if they want to look him up or anything, or should we just keep him quiet? I want to make sure we're doing it right.
I asked him, and he's strictly word of mouth.
Okay.
So I don't think he wants a lot of attention. He just
No
just
No, it's completely
people can
understandable.
connect if people want to contact me, and so
I was just going to say it's understandable. I mean, the amount of people on social media in every state, I'm sure this guy has other things that he has to be doing. And for every waking hour of yours to be devoted to helping families like this, you would get no sleep. I mean, that's why there are people out there like Carl Monger, who we had on, who gives his cell number out to say to, any veteran thinking of doing harm to himself, give me a call. But that's 1 in a million. I mean, I think there's very few people who are going to say, call me at 3 a.m. every night. It takes a certain person who's really devoted to that. And that's a big commitment to make. So.
Except you can call Renee. She just said, you can call her at 3 a.m. anytime. She said,
email me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Email.
Yeah. Hey, I gave my phone number to this Marine and because we were communicating through Instagram and Facebook. And he was like, this would be a lot easier to communicate with you and your husband if I had your phone number. So I gave him my phone number and I said, now don't abuse it. So he said, I promise no 3 a.m. calls. So.
Famous. You know how many times I've heard that famous last words from a woman? I gave my phone number to a Marine. It's over. If I had a dollar. That's hilarious. It is, but it's not hilarious. It's hilarious now. Next time we'll have you on, we'll have to remember to ask you, okay, how many times has this Marine called you at what hours? We'll just keep track of it. Keep that log to make sure.
We communicate a lot. He's helping us a lot.
Good.
No, that's great. And God bless him, and also God bless your brother and his service that he did to the country. And people need to check out the book. Always My Hero: A Sister's Inspiring Story of Love, Sacrifice, and Hope, which is once again about her brother, Marine Corps Major. You got it right there. I have it somewhere. I think I have it at my New York, my parents' New York house. I don't have it here at my current apartment.
Okay.
But that's it. Always My Hero, about Marine Corps Major Samuel Griffith, forward by Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, at Renee _Nickell on Instagram. And the book is available on paperback, Kindle, hardcover. Anything else that you want to get out there? I mean, especially as I said, it's Memorial Day. I'm sure there's other Gold Star families out there. I mean, we've had Gold Star family members on. So I don't know if there's any other words of wisdom you want to put out there.
Just that I'm thinking and praying for everybody. This is truly, a journey of God's grace. And, I just, my hearts are with all the Gold Star families and the service members who have lost somebody, one of their brothers or sisters in the line of battle. And, it's a hard time, but I'm grateful for my freedom, and I'm gonna keep fighting and doing my best to continue my brother's legacy. And
that's good. I was going to ask you. How do you get through it, and how can you give people advice to get through it? But that's what you're doing, continuing your brother's legacy. And that gives you the purpose right there, and that's tremendous. And
absolutely,
I know. And I hope your movie gets made. I can't wait to see it and see John Krasinski up there playing the lead character that you're gonna have. But I really do. And because
John, if you're listening, call me.
I'm sure he listens to Battleline podcast all the time. It goes Jimmy Kimmel, Battleline podcast, just like that. That's exactly. But God bless you. And with your husband, just tell him I feel for him, and I'm hoping I know now they do acupuncture and chiropractic. They allow that now, so maybe that's something the alternative medicines, I know, at least in Missouri here where I'm at, or Fayetteville, Arkansas is my VA, that they allow that now. It has helped me. And I maybe something I could look into, and maybe that'll help him with his back, because I feel it.
Yeah, we've been seeking out alternative medicine. You know, he can't live on gabapentin, so we've been doing CBD drops.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome. No.
Oh, CBD. Yes.
Yeah. CBD.
No gabapentin.
Oh, that's go to it. And actually, yeah, this is my back is aching me a little bit right now. Give it a little shot, but I use the CBD rub. I use the Ned stuff, but I don't have to take medication. I don't take medication anymore. None of the harsh stuff.
That's amazing.
I've done acupuncture myself at times. You know, I know there's conflicting opinions about all that stuff, but for some people, they definitely swear by it. I've had some good experiences. And I should point out for people, you know, hearing the story, I already asked Renee when we did the Instagram live, which, as I said, it was kind of back and forth due to connection stuff. But, you know, you're not looking for money. I even asked you, are you looking to start a GoFundMe for your husband? And you're not. You just want to bring awareness because, as you said, it is not just your husband. It's probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of families experiencing the same thing. And I know you want to get on, and I'm like, hey, all we have is this outlet. And I know you want to get on Fox News and the big outlets and Newsmax and bring this to the forefront. And hopefully it is. I mean, unfortunately, with this horrific shooting, which we discussed in the first segment in Texas, that's what's dominating the news cycle. But at the same time, we can't allow issues at the VA to be completely ignored. It's important as well.
That's a really important issue. I mean, I've just been brokenhearted. I have a 6-year-old daughter, so you know, it's an important issue because it could have been any of our kids. Yeah, you know, and
no, I feel you, but it's good that you're still bringing the light, and also it's good that you can still laugh, and even though it's going to be on Memorial Day, it's important that we still laugh and have fun and remember in good ways and joke and be jovial. It really is. That's how you get through it. And that's how I get through it. I have the same feelings that you're talking about where I don't even notice this on September 11th. I don't even know that I'm being angry and all of a sudden I'm angry so I get that, but I'm so happy you can at least come on and still laugh with me at my stupid jokes and still smile, because that shows resilience, and that's what we need to show to veterans out there and those that have, especially this time, that have gone through horrific events. You know, that's the resilience that we show through the face of adversity. And you're a good face to show resilience through adversity, Renee. You do a good job. Excellent job.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I'm going down to Jupiter, Florida in a couple weeks. I've been restoring my brother's car. Nice. So we're going to have a tribute, and then we have his annual charity golf tournament down there, and 100% of the proceeds goes to combat veterans. Awesome. So this is our 8th annual golf tournament, you know, so our family is we're doing well. You know,
that's awesome. Where can people find information? What's the date? All that.
So the golf tournament is June 11th. It's always the second Saturday in June.
Okay.
And I told my mom, I'm like, we really got to get, you know, a website up and going and get some more sponsorships. We do really well. We usually bring in about 60,000 a year for veterans.
It's amazing.
So yeah.
We'll do this.
Like, Mom, we gotta do this.
Oh yeah, you gotta have websites. You know, I hate to say it. We talked about social media and but so forth. But you know, that's where it does help. It can hurt definitely, but it can definitely help. And you know, you reach out to my 14th Hour Foundation and just make sure you have your 501c3 paperwork or anything ready to go, and we can try to donate money to you as well. So yeah, definitely.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We'd love to have you guys.
Oh, I'd love to be in Florida.
Yeah, we'd love to have you come down. Chris, we'd love to have you speak.
I one of these days when I'm not speaking,
I know you're
anymore,
a busy man.
Oh, I know. When I'm done speaking and I can just do it just when I want to do it. Yeah, that's what I'll be. I'll be down there in Jupiter. Thank you. I'm honored you'd even ask me. So thank you. And consider me a good backup for John Krasinski in the movie. I'm kidding. I can't act. I'm just fun.
I will. You know what? We'll bring you on as a consult. How about that?
There you go. And I'll play the dead guy. If there has to be I'm sure I know this is, I'm like, holy shit, that's bad taste, Chris. She's going to smack you. But if there's somebody that can just lay there, I'll be that guy because I can't act. You've seen the sunglass commercial. I can't act for shit. Thank you. You're awesome, Renee.
Thanks, Renee.
Thanks, guys, so much.
Appreciate it. We'll have it up on Monday. So.
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Thanks.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
You say that.
Well, the last thing I wanted to say, I mean, because I think we covered a lot here. I don't think there's really much more to discuss, but I think it'd be wrong not to ask you. I mean, Memorial Day, we got into her brother. Plenty of guys, that we remember on this Memorial Day. And I don't know if there's anything you want to say about that before we call it a wrap.
I think I said it, when we were talking, it was none of those guys would want me or anybody else to feel sorry for them. They didn't live with people wanting to feel sorry for them. In fact, it was just the opposite. They never want people to feel sorry for them. So I think it's the same in death, and they're looking down and going, no, don't feel sorry for me. Live. And I know it was since it's hard on the Instagram post with Bubs. It's hard for me to still be an ad. And I still want to put things in there, but even on that Instagram post at the end of it, I don't think I said it. I said, I don't think Bub would want me to live, and we weren't best friends or nothing like that. We worked together, and Bub was a friend as far as work friends. And I respected the hell out of him, man. I respected the hell out of him for what he did that night, being the only guy that came in, to include the two Delta guys that actually came to supplement our positions, knowing that we were already getting hit, knowing that he was going to get in a firefight, and that's to me, that's impressive. But I don't think he would want me to live with not living my fullest life, because he lived his fullest life. He lived hard. We'll have Sean on. Sean will tell you more stories about Sean. Sure. Knew him. Hell, Sean was one of his best friends. But they don't want us to live feeling sorry for them. They want us to remember them, but they want us to remember them just like when they were alive and during Memorial Days overseas. The alcohol was flowing in a good way. The barbecue was flowing in a good way, and they remembered them. They remembered their brothers and sisters, and they did it. There was a tear. You have a tear because you lost someone, but it was never go down that rabbit hole and feel sorry for them. So don't feel sorry for any of them. Feel proud that they gave the ultimate sacrifice. That was their life for the protection of us and the protection of our freedoms and for this country. And that still should be honored. And I don't think it is as much as it used to be with as many people as it used to be, but it still can be. And on this show, of course, we honor the hell out of them because they sacrificed their lives for us. And whether it's Bub or whether it was Putty, whether it was Roan, whether it was Casey Cassavant, who, God bless him, who was one of the Little Bird gunners that was shot down in Iraq, back in, 10, 11 years ago, but served with me at Ranger Battalion. Tremendous guy. They wouldn't want us to cry and feel sorry for him. Yeah, we can cry a little bit, but they don't want us to just be, blubbering about their loss. They want us to remember them how they were. And that was their warriors. They were hardcore motherfuckers that fought their ass off and were badasses. And we should remember them that way.
Yeah, the one guy I'll personally remember, although it wasn't in service, it was post-service, of course, was our friend Drew.
Was Drew. And Drew, Drew Saint.
Right over there along with a bunch of my other friends. That was on my birthday, probably. I think it was my 30. I think it might have been my 31st birthday, something like that. But either way, man, I will definitely miss that guy. I still have actual greeting cards that he gave me for my birthday and stuff. And the reason I kept them, he didn't just say happy birthday. He wrote giant messages. I remember I have one of them and it was just so genuine. One of them, he's like, you're one of the few people I like here in New York. So thank you for being a friend. That type of. It's just I kept all that stuff with him. So I know he didn't die in combat or in service, but he's a guy who served this country and served in the CIA. So I'll definitely be remembering.
And to say that, Ben, he was one of the best. He was GRS. He was a team leader. He was a staffer, and he was one of the best staffers that we had. And that's saying a lot because most of the staffers were a staffer is actually a GRS employee. That not a contractor like I was, and Bub was, but that's saying a lot because we didn't have a lot of good staffers. We had, I would say about half and half, and he was one of the best ones. So, I know you say he didn't die in combat, but he served his ass off and he was very good. And as a contractor, having a staffer like Saint, it made our jobs easier because we knew we had an actual employee for the agency that had our backs. And he was awesome. And he was a Marine. He was a recon Marine. Yeah. He's Force Recon. That's pretty impressive stuff right there.
And you wouldn't know about his career so much because he was like the least boastful guy. He was hyping me up as if I did something amazing. He was the furthest thing from the type of guy who would say how remarkable he was. That's not who he was at all. Totally humble guy.
Coming to Manhattan when I'm staying like at the Waldorf, I'm at the Waldorf or the Benjamin or something like that. And how does he walk into the front? He's got cut off camo shorts, flip flops, and a ripped T-shirt. I'm like, damn, Drew, can you at least put on a shirt that's not torn up as you're walking? I mean, I'm not dressed up in a collared shirt or anything anyway. At least I got jeans and some tennis shoes and actually a clean shirt on. But every time he'd come to the city to visit me, because I'm coming in, let's go out to dinner or something. It was always ripped ass shorts, ripped shirt. I'm surprised he showered, or at least he threw on some Brute and something. And flip flops, and it didn't matter if it was the winter time. It was like, geez, come on, Drew, man, do something. But he just smiled and he'd light up the room. Great.
Yeah, he was a unique guy. So I don't know how you'll be spending this Memorial Day because, as I said, we're recording this on Thursday. I'm actually very psyched to have a fun Memorial Day weekend. Saturday, I'll be seeing Top Gun with my friend George Earhart. Uh-huh. Who regularly listens to the show, who got into Bub's Naturals because of us. So I'll throw that out there. And great guy. And then Sunday, I'll be going to the Memorial Day Air Show because there's Saturday and Sunday. But it looks like Sunday is going to have better weather. So I'll be going to Jones Beach for the Memorial Day Day weekend air show, which is an awesome experience. If you guys are on Long Island, well, actually, it'll be Monday when you hear this. So go next year if you didn't go this year.
Next year.
There were many years where I said, I got to go. I skipped it so many times. And then when I finally went in 2019, I was like, I have to go to this every year. And I absolutely will. Even if I end up eventually moving to Florida, I will come home for this during Memorial Day because it is awesome what those guys do. And it is a great way to celebrate and remember. So yeah, I'll be doing that on Sunday. Hopefully Top Gun I wanted to get someone on from Top Gun and I reached out, and Alex Hollings from Sandbox definitely helped me out. So we'll have Alex on, but I just, I know that those guys are busy, but I wish they would realize, like, I know they're going to do, the Entertainment Tonight stuff and the extra, and don't forget the military podcast because these are the guys who are going to be out supporting that movie. But anyway, what are your plans for?
My son, I'll be where I want to be. Luckily this year, I'm not having to go speak this year. In fact, I told the speaking with Kepler, I said, don't book me on Memorial Day. I don't want to be gone. My son made state track. So nice. he made to the state. And this is, I'm very blessed that he got his mama's athletic ability because I'm not mine.
Well, you're both athletes, though.
Yeah, I used to be a decent athlete back in the day. But he first year he's ever ran track, and he's very fast. He just natural ability, and he made the state track. Made state to compete in the Kansas State track tournament. In the 200 and then also the 4x400 relay. I still think he should run the 400 free by itself because he's like, that's what I used to run. I ran the 400 and it's one of the hardest races to run. He's very good at it, but
400 is one time around the track, right?
But it's a sprint. It's a sprint.
I did that. I did the 400.
That's to me that and the 800.
I just don't remember, obviously.
But he made, and so we'll go down and watch him, and it's in Wichita, so we'll be down there watching him this weekend, but I remember, and this is the wisdom that comes in after. I wish I could remember more of that when I was growing up. I like I've said on any of the show before, and we actually my 4x400 team won state one year when I was at Grand Junction Central, and we were really good, really fast, but I was so focused on winning, I didn't take everything in. And, after we talk about the military and after Benghazi, I started to take things in. So I remember, I told him, I said, this is your first year. I said, just go enjoy it. Don't worry about winning. Just take in the smells, take in the sights, take in what's going on around you. Next year, focus on winning. This year, just go run. And the winning will take care of itself. And I honestly do believe that. Honestly, when I started to win races is when I started caring about winning. Because you relaxed, And I said that to him, and I hope he takes it. And I think he will. My son has a lot better head on his shoulders than I ever did at that age. And again, good parenting from his mom's side, not from mine. But that's where I'll be at. And Wichita, we'll have the little kids with us, and Wichita's it's a bigger city. So they've got the Dave and Buster's and all this stuff. So we'll have the family fun out there. And then home on Sunday, of course, we'll grill out. And you know where I live. So I'm in paradise. I'll probably run down to the range, do pull-ups in the heat and the humidity, and run back home, and we'll barbecue and
nice.
And just I'm home with my family, and I want to be home with my family because a lot of guys aren't going to be able to. And like Renee's, her brother isn't able to be home with the family. So to me, that's how I think it would be. Yeah. It should be for me and because they sacrificed their lives so I could be home with my family and enjoy the day. And so that's what I'll be doing. But I am excited to go watch my boy run, and just go run and he's fast, but he's not. He hasn't done a lot of track, so he's still learning. There's a lot of technique to running, and natural ability. He'll compete, but I think with a lot of training, with a year of training, man, he's going to be really good. He's already got colleges looking at him for track, which is it's exciting as a parent to see that, because I know how I felt when colleges were looking at me for football and basketball, and it's good. But I'm keeping his head on straight. That's it. But yeah, buddy, that's what we'll be doing. I'll be.
No, that's all. That's a great outlook to have, and you are right about enjoying it, because it's actually funny. The same guy I just mentioned, who I'll be seeing Top Gun with, George Earhart, he was like a huge track star for long distance, and the truth is, he doesn't do it anymore. He doesn't run at all anymore, and I think it's because it was such a huge part of his life, high school, college, that he does still exercise a lot. He does yoga, he plays tennis. But I think at this point, he has burnt himself out of running, that he has no interest in ever doing it again. And I think when you compete to that level, I mean, I see it with, I worked with Senator Bill Bradley, right? I don't think Senator Bill Bradley ever shoots hoops anymore. I think he's been done with that for decades. So
you get burnt out. My son played competitive baseball, select baseball, since he was a little boy. He's a great baseball player. And he runs track now because he already got burnt out with baseball as a sophomore in high school. He's like, Dad, I don't want to do baseball anymore. Can I run track? Like, yeah, go at it. So I agree with you, man.
I'll even mention this. I don't want to say his name, but it's someone I used to work with, who some of you guys are familiar with. But was a sniper, and one thing he said to me, he was like, I'm great at this, but it's a blessing and a curse in that. He's like, I don't enjoy it. I just, it was something I was great at, but it's not something I necessarily enjoy. And I think even there's professional athletes. I think it might have been one of the Williams sisters. It might have been Venus or Serena Williams, who said, like, yeah, I'm amazing at this, but I don't like it. I don't enjoy playing tennis. And that kind of sucks. So you want to see your kid enjoy it.
And that's why with my son, I told him that. And I also tell him, buddy, he's going to be great at whatever he does. This is not, I'm sure people at a high school that was their pinnacle. There are people, and high school was it. And then
you don't want to be there with that. And then you're reliving those old high school stories.
That stereotype actually fits with a lot of the O'Doyles out there. I call them
O'Doyles. A lot of that. And then unfortunately, a lot of Army veterans who can't move past, or military veterans, I should say, who can't move past that and move on to new goals. And that's why I love seeing some of these guys we've had on the show, or like Todd Opalski, who I want to have on, who's now doing like these retreats in Costa Rica. It's like, I love these people, or like Jim West, who we had on, who always want to move on to a new challenge. That's the way you have to be with life. And it doesn't even have to be physical, like, just I want to write a book, or in Renee's case, we just had on, I want to write a movie. I think you shouldn't always be living in the past, and we're all guilty of it sometimes. I certainly am sometimes. So,
and that's with my son, I can honestly tell him, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't have family in the military, but I can tell him, hey, high school, it's not it. And I competed at state levels in high school. I did. And when you're there and you're in athletics, you really think, okay, high school is it. Let's move to college. Okay, college? This is it. This is my life right here. And then I'm like, holy crap, there's more to it. So I hope he listens to me. I think he does. But like, Christian, whether you win state ever or not, this is it. This is not it. This is not the end. There's the next step, and just enjoy life, and you're going to continue to grow and continue to be good at everything because you're good, and because you're just a good person, and you're smart. A lot better grades than I ever got in high school. He's tremendously smart, which I was not. I said, this just continue on. And I it's amazing. The ones that won state and high school that were top notch, they weren't always, in fact, I don't know any that moved on to a lot of super success in their lives down the line. It's the ones that were always good at everything.
Yeah.
Those are the ones
I saw that with
actually,
athletes at my school. I mean, there's a number that I remember who were 100% convinced. Like there's one guy who stands out in my head who was 100% convinced he was going to be a golf pro. I remember going to a party and he was there with a camcorder watching his golf swing and telling me how amazing his golf swing was. And I was convinced he would be a pro. And honestly, you never heard the name again. That's why, you got to have that balance in life. It can't just be one thing.
You do. Be good at it. I always just be good. You don't have to be great at one thing. Be good at everything. Rangers really taught me that. They reinforced it in my parents and stuff taught me that more. And I learned that on my own. I was never the best at one thing. I was just good at everything that I could do. I made myself good. I know that's narcissism. That's ego. That's ego.
No, it's okay.
I really was. I'll be honest. I was never the fastest, never the smartest, never the strongest, never the best shooter, but I was good at it all. And down the line, it transferred into really did success. It did. And I want my son to feel that same way. Whether you take first or not, you're here. That's awesome. Just continue to be good at everything. And you're right. Then you have to be that guy looking at their golf swing at a party. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that is, but you're spot on, brother. So yeah, guys, just the Memorial Day, just enjoy it and fun. You got kids. Don't put a lot of pressure on them to be great. They will be. They're going to be great because they're kids. And hug them because you can today, and some parents can't. And that's a blessing right there. So and last but not least, I'm changing the subject. Where did you get that Battleline podcast T-shirt? That thing is awesome. Where
Battleline
the heck
podcast,
did you get
baby?
Where'd you get?
We got to give out the website. I always put the website address on the episodes, so it'll be there.
But brother, I didn't know we made orange.
Oh, in red. You didn't know we had it in red.
Is that red or orange? That looks.
No, this is red. This is red. It could be the light or whatever, but yeah,
maybe
this is red.
That looks sweet.
We don't talk enough about the shirts and post them on Instagram. So yeah, I always put the link right there.
We'll put them on, guys. They're made by Next Level. I want to say I think 8 American Trigger Pullers is making them right now.
Yes,
so we're going to bring them in house. We're going to start because all the Battleline shirts we make in house now. It's Next Level, and Jeremy has got it down. So we'll bring him in house and start making them.
Yeah, I would give you guys. I mean, I'll say the link, but it's a big link. Just look on the look on the episode description. But it's tonto-apparel.myshopify.com, and then you click on Battleline Podcast. So tonto-apparel.myshopify.com, and I mean, tag us on Instagram if you're wearing a Battleline Podcast shirt. We work so much with the sponsors here that I try not to be. We always say, I try not to be an infomercial, because I know there are people be like, oh, why do I have to listen to all these sponsors? But guys, we keep things free. We only have sponsors that we genuinely love.
Yeah.
And I don't try to tag on to say, buy the mug, buy the T-shirt. But if you can't, we do have mugs as well with a cartoon of us, and it's all high quality stuff. So hopefully you guys can pick it up. But I do love this shirt. It's a great shirt. I wear this all the freaking time.
And that's the thing, is that we do. And it's not that we've just been using it for months or it's years. I've been using stuff for years. Never will push anything that we don't use or try ourselves. And I hate to say push, but we never will promote anything that we haven't tried it. We haven't used it. So if it's going to negatively affect anyone, it's going to negatively affect us first. And then we'll say, don't take it. Don't. Yeah. But nothing that we have is like that. And these are tremendous people too that run these companies, from Ned to Bubs to Team Beard Vet to the American Flag Company that we have. These are tremendous people, and they do good work. Fort Scott, especially, and Fort Scott. You can't forget Fort Scott Munitions. So,
yeah,
but guys,
check them out. Yeah, and I should mention again, youramericanflagstore.com.
Your
Our
American
flags
Flag
are coming in the mail. I mean, once again, they're custom made, so that's why it does take a little bit. But he's actually in the process of sending them out, I believe, this week.
Mine's going right. Sorry for Scott Munitions. I'm gonna move the flag, move your little flag up there. I'll put that over here, but that flag is going right here. That's
nice.
Yeah,
right. I'm excited, and he has not forgotten about us. So check them out at Your American Flag Store on Instagram, and I think that covers everything, man. I enjoy doing this show every week and getting great guests on like Renee, and we have some really killer guests lined up for this coming month.
Outstanding, guys. I look forward to it, and you guys have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Or they had one. They had a great one.
Or you're going to have one. I hope you had a great one. And for you veterans out there, thank you for your service and for and of course the families in Texas. We're saying it. Our prayers are definitely with you. Our hearts are going out to you. And for on the other side of the house, we really need news media and social media. I think you need to take it may hurt us too, but you really need to take a step back and look at what we're doing and may see if there's some responsibility that lies in both the news and social media, not just the
I mean, you've said it before. I mean, social media is just like a firearm. It's a tool, and you can use it for positive or negative. In terms of the 24/7 news coverage, though, I mean, look, I watched maybe 5 minutes of it just to see what's going on, and at that point, I have it. I don't think there's anything good that comes of obsessing over everything and watching it 24/7. It just throws anger. So, I'm not someone who's going to say don't keep up to date, bury your head in the sand. But at the same point, there are people who watch like 9 hours of this shit a day, and it is not good for you.
Talking, turn it off. It's terrible for you. Believe it. My life has turned around tons since I don't watch the news anymore. But we're just giving you some advice. You got free will. You're going to do what you're going to do. But also, guys, bring God back in your life. Bring faith back in your life. It definitely, take it from me, it definitely will help. It definitely will help. So, that's my end state, brother. That's it.
Cool.
That's all for this episode of the Battleline podcast. But we'll be back on Monday with more American Straight Talk. Until then, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Battleline Podcast and on Twitter at Battleline Pod. To sign up for future Battleline tactical courses, go to www.christantoparanto.net. Believe in yourself, face all challenges head on, and as always, never quit.